Hello everybody and welcome to the SERL Truck Series final race of the season, the championship race, where all these drivers have worked hard to finally decide who will be crowned champion among them. I am Justin White, your broadcaster for this evening and commentator. And currently these guys are finishing up their final laps of practice before they get ready to set their qualifying times. And currently sitting at the top of the leaderboard is our number 87, Justin Michael, who has won a majority of these races this season, but he is mathematically now out of the championship battle. But with that said, let's go ahead and get our opening ceremonies out of the way, and we will return momentarily. And upon the conclusion of our national anthem, I'd like to take a moment of silence for what happened 20 years ago in New York City on 9/11. May we never forget those who gave it all and those lost during that terrible, terrible terrorist attack. All right, with that said, we are now set to turn these guys free for their qualifying laps here at Homestead Motor Speedway, as these guys get set to do 100 laps for this championship battle. Before they do set the qualifying or their qualifying time, I want to kind of briefly go over the points for these guys. As you can see currently, that is how the points set. Now we are in the final championship race, and the points are determined are not determined by who crosses the line first in the traditional method. They are determined as they gather points. So with that said, this is where it comes set now. This is what it looks like right now. These are the only two in the point battle, and that is your position 1 and position 2, Dakota Camper and Dylan Clark. Dakota sets 5 points ahead of Dylan. Dustin Matson is not in the field. So he will miss, and he is already eliminated anyways with the number of cars we have in the field. So with that said, this battle will come down between the number 3 truck and the number 34 truck. And we'll do 100 laps, and we'll count the stage points, and we will return shortly after the race conclusion to crown our champion. With that said, these guys are already qualifying. So let's go out and watch a few of the qualifying times here. And right now the 27 truck of Jonathan Cogswell is now setting his second lap. He is setting P2 on the leaderboard at the moment. Right now our 34 truck he's getting ready to start his second lap, to finish his second lap. He is currently the provisional pole as he runs that high progressive banking line out of 4. Let's see if he can best his time. He will not, so 33.192 is what Dakota will have to beat, or any of these other guys will have to beat to take the pole. Truck of Justin Lumpkin looks like he has now taken over that top spot for the provisional pole here at the final race of the season at Homestead with a 33.188. Looks like Dylan Clark run a 33.192. That is 0.004 of a difference. And we will see if that is enough. Hold the pole currently. Now nobody is out setting their qualifying time. They're patiently waiting. I'm wondering if they're waiting for the track to cool off a little bit to gain a little bit more speed. As we enjoy these beautiful scenic views of Homestead, Miami Speedway. While we wait for these guys to qualify, let's go ahead and bring up the 34 Dylan Clark and see what his current plan is to possibly take this championship tonight. Hey, Dylan, this is Justin up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
All right, sir. It comes down to this race. One race, 100 laps. You are 5 points hanging out of the lead. We know the stage. We have a stage that's going to come up on you pretty quick. Looks like lap. We'll have to check
45.
Yes, sir. Lap 45. You get 5 stage points there. It puts you in a tie. And then basically at that point, it comes down to who can cross the line first. What is your plan? Are you nervous?
Lead as many laps as I can, go win the stage, and then go win the race. I mean, it's got to come down to who wants it more. And right now, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm sitting pretty in second, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Second. It's looking good. I like hit this track a lot. I'm feeling very confident going in here.
10-4. All right, good deal. I forgot about our no incident points. So, if you get no incidents and he gains an incident, that's a 3-point bonus right there alone. I think leading laps
yes,
are 1 2. So it'll take us a minute at the end of the race to fully calculate the points and come up with it. But we wish you well, and hopefully we will be talking to you crowned as the inaugural SERL Truck Series champion at the end of the night.
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that was the number 34, Dylan Clark. As you heard him, his plan is to gain points early in the stage, and then come up and beat them to the line and who wants it more. And honestly, by the way I was talking to him, he sounded pretty confident tonight, which is something you need here. Let's go here and go take a look at Dakota Camper here. He is out setting his lap. He is on lap number 2 now, sitting right now just behind Dylan Clark with the third fastest lap in qualifying. Let's see if he can best it or take the pole. And he will not. He will start behind Dylan. That already gives Dylan a little bit more of an advantage. We'll let Dakota here pull off the track. And we will ask him what his plan is for this championship race. Justin Michael is now completing his first couple of laps here for qualifying. I know Justin Michael 1 second off of the pace. Let's bring up the 3 truck of Dakota Camper and let's ask him what his plan is. Hey Dakota, this is Justin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, we just got done talking to your competition, and for pretty much the only person you have to race tonight, Dylan Clark, he sounded pretty confident in his ability to say who wants it more is basically going to win the championship. What is your plan, and are you feeling got a little butterflies in your stomach there as we get ready to start this race?
Yeah, I'm certainly nervous. We want to come in here, and it'd be nice to get out here and win the race, but I know that I'm only racing Dylan, really, so just going to do my best and compete against him, try and beat him in the stage, and try and beat him for the race, and let the best man win. He certainly had a great season, kind of barely limped his way in, but, man, he has absolutely killed us all, really, in the playoffs, so he deserves it if he gets it. He's a great competitor.
10-4. All right. Well, yeah, he's definitely confident, and you sound pretty confident yourself here.
I'm not qualifying.
Hopefully, we will crown
Neither am I.
a champion here tonight at. Sorry, my in-race chat was not muted. My apologies. So, with that said, hopefully we'll have you up here in the booth and crown the champion. I know we're going to have to post the points pretty quick here at the end of the race. And try to figure it out, because I know incident points come in, leading laps come in, so I know there's a few points to be gained. So we'll see how this all plays out. We wish you all the best and good luck this evening.
Thanks. I want to thank Unchained Motorcycle Ministry being on the truck all year, and hopefully we can make them proud tonight.
10-4. All right. Good luck.
Have a good one.
All right, you heard it there from Dakota. He's pretty confident too on how this is going to play out. I'm extremely interested to see how this race unfolds between this 34 and 3 truck. I know these two have been at it all season. Dakota's been pretty much consistent all season. The number 34 truck, Dylan Clark, he's won a few, been hot at times, but he has definitely laid it on during this final playoff push here, chase for this inaugural SERL Truck Series. As these guys start to grit up here at the conclusion of qualifying, the 87 truck of Justin Michael, that is your pole winner. Let's bring him up here real quick, talk to him for a quick second. Hey, Justin, this is Justin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you won the pole. I know you're not in the championship battle, but at the same time, I think you're probably going to let it all hang out to dry and go for the whole win this evening, kind of cap off the season and with kind of put a feather in your cap, saying, "Hey, I won majority of these races. Maybe we should change this point system going to next season."
Yeah, it's a good season. I know we're not in it, but yeah, we're gonna try to go for the win, of course. And I'm not a big fan of the playoff system, but it is what it is. So
10-4.
sometimes it helps us, though.
Yep.
But sometimes it hurts us.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, most playoff systems are kind of one of those hate it or love it type of systems. So, but
Exactly.
Yep. We all have to play with it, and like I said, you definitely, if you wouldn't have missed that one race, you definitely would have been in the mix for this thing. And hopefully next year, if you come back to the Truck Series, we will definitely see you in it. So in the mix of it. So with that said, we wish you all the luck for this evening, and hopefully you can spool the playoff these last two drivers race hopes of winning the race, and just put that final feather in your cap.
There you go. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there you heard it from Justin Michael. So these guys get ready to roll off. Let's take a look at our grid. We've only got 8 guys in the field this evening. The results for qualifying. And there it is. We had the number 9, the 9th position of Logan Hagerman is not in the race. He is our race control. So we only have 8 trucks in the field. 3 chose not to qualify. Justin Michael is on the pole. Justin Lumpkin will be rolling off P2. Dylan Clark P3. Dakota Camper will be rolling off P4. Jonathan Cogswell P5 and Dean Clavitt P6 and Jody Doucette P7 and Kevin Franks P8. That'll round out your guys who are rolling off on the field this evening. So we get set for 100 laps here at Homestead Miami Speedway. I wanted to let's take a quick look at our race information here. 77 degrees is ambient temperature, 82 degrees is the track. It's partly cloudy with a 2-mile-an-hour wind. 57% humidity, as this is what the track conditions these guys will experience this evening. Here we go as we get ready to set for this final race of this inaugural season, 100 laps. And we are green for the final time here in the SERL Truck Series Season 1. Justin Michael got a good jump as he sailed it off down into turn 1. He'll pull out to the race lead. Dylan Clark pulling up to P2, third starting position. Looks like Dylan Clark is already going to that outside progressive banking as he gets a great run off out of 4. Possibly going to look under Justin Michael here for the lead, but he goes back to the high side. Looks like Dylan is going to save his tires for longer in the run here. We have our first caution. Looks like it's going to involve the 56 of Dean Clavitt. Let's go back and take a quick look at it here and see what happened. Here he is off turn number, coming out of turn 2 here. Looks like he's on the high side. Tries to turn it down the hill and just ends up looping it. Ooh, he's into the wall. Maybe, clicks the 27 and the 97. Hard hits by those guys. As the number 56 and Dean Clavitt in that 911 Remembrance paint scheme is going to be using his fast repair early this evening. And that is your first caution. Looks like we have the 4 of Justin Lumpkin, who decided to come down pit road, and the 3 truck of Dakota Camper here early. We'll see if these guys decide to take tires as we keep a close eye on the 3 and the 34. Looks like Dakota will not. He will take gas only. Looks like he is preparing himself to possibly go a little bit longer here on the run. Because remember, we will have our own one and only stage where these guys will collect points, and that is at lap 45. So lap 45, at the conclusion of lap 45, we will assign points for these guys. We won't be assigning any points for 9th and 10th, so they're guaranteed to get stage points of some fashion. How many is up to them on where they finish here. So that'll be at lap 40, conclusion of 45, coming to 46. Looks like Dylan Clark is going to make a quick jump onto pit road. Looks like he kind of is pulling from Dakota's playbook, coming down pit road to get at least fuel only in that Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm not sure what team was on the other side. We'll maybe have to ask him and see what these guys do. Looks like Dakota will take gas only. Dylan will take gas only. To see who comes off the pit road. It'll be Dakota first, Lumpkin, then Clark. Take a quick moment and take a look at this not 34 truck, my apologies. It's the 16 truck of Joey Doucette. This is in remembrance of those in Afghanistan, the 13 that were lost a couple of weeks ago, and it looks like a 9/11 remembrance truck as well. So that is a well thought out gesture, Joey. We appreciate it, and I know those guys up there appreciate it as well. Looks like these guys are going to come back down pit road again. Looks like Dylan's going to come back down pit road one more time here before we go green, as we get the 1 to green this time by. So next time we will be fully under green. Caution laps can be a little bit long here, as we had our first caution relatively early in the race. So we're going to keep a close eye on the 34 and the 3 truck. So it looks like Dakota, in a major turn of events, is going to start outside of Justin Michael here for this restart. The rest of these guys roll off pit road and try to line it up pretty quick here before they get to the exit of 4. They're having to catch up pretty quick here. Pace truck's getting ready to start pulling off. If they do not get this sorted out, at least with the 34 truck of Dylan, he is going to be hurting. Looks like they're all going to have to line up on the inside here. But we will see what happens here as the pace truck gets ready to pull off. Pace truck is off, and the 87 is back on the loud pedal as we're back under green here at Homestead Miami Speedway. The 4 truck is trying to work around the 16 of Doucette, trying to get around him quickly here. Does not want to lose too much time to Dakota, because if he does, those stage points are going to dig himself into a deeper hole that he may not be able to get out of. So he has to collect as many points as he can. Remember, he's only 5 back, finishing 3 or 4 positions behind Dakota. Will basically put him at 8 or 9 points, and that's going to be really tough to dig out of. You'll have to have no incidents, lead a lap, and lead the most laps to maybe have a chance at doing it. Taking the win, as Dakota has, looks like the 87 is going to lead. Looks like 87 may have let Dakota lead one lap that last time around to gain another point here. So now it looks like Dakota will be 6 points up on that 34 truck. Try to keep up with it as best I can for you guys tonight, so we have at least a general idea of where we are. So far they're both going to end up collecting 3 no incident points at the moment. But we'll see how this kind of plays out. As a 3 truck of Camper decides to jump underneath the 87 of Dylan. I'm sorry, the 87 of Justin Michael, and will lead that lap. So we definitely know he has led a lap now. So he is 6 points ahead of Dylan Clark currently. Dakota immediately jumps to that high side. Looks like Dylan Clark goes to the high side with him as well. 87, 27, 4, 34, your top 5. The gap time between these guys is about 2.3 seconds back of the race leader, Dakota Camper. Like Dylan is slowly pulling that gap back in on it a little bit. The Camper then jumps it back, then extends his lead back out of turn number 2. We will pull up track map there for you guys there on the right hand side. You'll see the 3 circled in green, that is the race leader. You'll see the 34 in white, that is Dylan Clark. That is the difference between their references on the track. There's 2.5 seconds of gap difference right there. Kind of give you guys even a better reference here. 30 truck coming out of turn 4 now on that progressive banking. He is at the start-finish line now. There's Dylan now, start-finish line. So, come back out front here to the 3 truck. 87 of Michael there, right in behind him. Mr. Michael working that low lane early. Looks like he gets a great run off of 4, but I think that high lane is going to hold the momentum, and he's going to keep the position over Michael. Looks like Michael's going to fall in line with the 3 and run the mid to high lane. Looks like Dylan Clark is under fire from that 16 Joey Doucette, as well as the 3 is under fire from that 87 truck as they pull up door to door off of 4. 87 truck was able to keep the momentum. Looks like he will pretty much keep it this time as well as in the previous lap as he ducks it down into 1 and 2 under Camper. He is now clear of him. He's going to slide up in front. Camper's going to pull a crossover. As they head down the backstretch, Camper's going to try to slide drop him back. He sails it off down into 3. 87 truck holding that outside line well. 3 truck will be able to pull the slide jaw right back on him. As these 2 are trading positions back and forth, which is allowing Dylan to kind of close that gap a little bit. He's wanting these guys to get racing, so to pull these guys back, pull them back up to the leaders as we get ready to complete lap 18. We're over halfway through to stage one, or into the only stage of the evening. Looks like at the moment Dakota will be leading the most laps, so he will probably end up gaining that point at some, that point. He's got that point in his column now currently, since he's led the most laps at the moment. We'll see if that changes. There's a lap 18 coming to lap 19. Clark is falling further and further back. .7 seconds now. 2.8. He is under fire from that number 16 machine, Joey Doucette. Clark sticking to that high lane. Maybe his truck will come to him at the end of the run. I'm not quite sure when that will start to play the effect. We'll see. Looks like Dakota has stuck to that high lane from the start. And that number 3 Unchained Motorcycle Ministries Chevy Silverado. There's our number 3 position truck, Jonathan Cogswell, who's had himself a pretty good season. Has not went the victory lane yet, but he's been running consistent all season. I expect him to be a challenger for next year's cup, or next year's championship if and when he decides. Looks like the number 16 of Joey Doucette will work his way around. No, looks like the 56 and 16 will work their way around that 34 machine. That is now going to put Dylan Clark back to P7, Dakota Kemper as P1. So we will see as we complete lap 23, coming around to complete lap 24 next time by. A little over halfway to stage 1. Actually, roughly about halfway to stage 1. Yeah, half to stage 1 now. As Dakota is clearly handedly the race leader, almost pulling a second over our second place driver, Justin Michael. I'm not quite sure if they can make it on gas. Make sure of that 34 truck if they can. He recognized it early, and now he's saving to get to the end of the stage. We will see. Because they're only running 65% fuel. Probably going to be cutting it close to that stage, or going to be able right at it, so we'll see. Three truck of campers still out front. Sitting second is Justin Michael. Sitting third, Jonathan Cogswell. 16 truck of Joey Doucette, now putting pressure on that number 4 of Justin Lumpkin, who we've not really spoken about this evening. The 16 and 56, those two are teammates. Looks like they know the strategy to get around here on a long run, as they are now charging to the front. where the excitement is right now on the racetrack. These 4 cars are battling it out for that 3rd position. So Joey is committed to the low lane, and that may be what's causing him to drive it to the front. As he looks under the 27 truck going into 1, decides to reduck it back down at the end of the straightaway. Is he going to hold the momentum? Look, maybe 27 may have the momentum off the corner. Looks like he will. Currently, Doucette will put it back up underneath as the 4 truck of Lumpkin into the wall there a little bit. Looks like he will lose a little bit of ground. 16 Doucette working underneath the 27 of Cogswell. 56 of Dean Clavitt are right there behind them. It looks like they kind of stalled out here until they can get around this 27 truck. 56 truck losing the back number of that 16 truck. 16 is going to sail it off down into 3. 27 of Cogswell into the wall. 56 in 16 easily going to clear him. So is the 4 of Lumpkin. That 16 machine of Doucette now up to P3. Roughly about 3 seconds back. 3.5 seconds back off the race leader of Dakota Camper. 87 truck still in tow of that 3, hoping the 3 will make some sort of mistake so he can get around them and spoil the points. There's still a Clark in the 34 is now under fire from 97 of Kevin Franks. Dylan doesn't step on the gas here. He is looking to finish P8 in the stage with Camper finishing first. And that is going to be a long, hard road to hoe to get back to the top and have a chance at winning this championship. Three trucks still your leader as we complete lap 31. Coming to 32, we'll have 8 laps left in the, no, sorry, not 8 laps left in the stage. We're not going to 40, we're going to lap 45. So, about 14 laps left. Looks like Doucette may have used up as much as, I mean, all of it, everything he had to get around that 27 of Cogswell. It looks like he is now stalled out in gaining any time on these front 2 leaders, the 3 and the 87. Looks like the 3 truck has been maintaining roughly one half to 3/4 of a second, half to 3/4 of a second over the 87 of Michael. We'll see how this plays out here at the end of the stage. It looks like Camper is now on pit road. We definitely knew he did not have enough gas to make it. First one to hit pit road. Hopefully he is looking probably to gain an advantage on the 34 truck or the rest of the field by getting fresh tires and getting out in clean air. So now that puts the lead into the 87 truck. Let's see when he decides to pit, if he decides to pit. Let's see if the 34 of Clark, when he decides to pit, if he decides. 3 truck now pulling off. Looks like 3 truck will be 1 lap down currently as the 87 will fly by him. We know he'll make that ground up here pretty quickly. We'll just have to see when and where that happens. He gets ready to blend on here, possibly in front of, nope, looks like he'll blend in behind the 56 truck of Dean Clavitt with fresh tires and a full tank of fuel of Sunoco Racing Fuel. Nobody else still being a taker on pit road. Looks like the 3 truck is trying to short pit and get the tire speed, speed from having fresh tires, as he easily works around the 16 and 56 and goes to work to get his lap back the old-fashioned way around the 87. Looks like the 87 truck is coming down pit road this time. We definitely knew he did not have enough fuel to go to the end because he has not pitted since the drop of the green flag. Camper will now go back to being on the lead lap, scored P8. Question is, when does that 34 truck come down? Does the 34 truck come down? Looks like the 16 of Doucette and the 56 Clavitt are both saying, hey, we're coming this time, coming to pit road this time. Let's see how quickly they get it slowed up here. You'll see him coming to your screen right there. This looks like then the 4 truck will follow in suit. That is going to put the lead into the hands of the 97 truck of Kevin Franks. Well, if I'm the 34 truck and I've been out this long, I'm going to stay out as long as I can, hoping for a caution, hoping to make it to the end of the stage. Looks like we're 8 laps away. Does he have enough fuel to get there? Has he saved enough? Looks like he will not have enough to make it. 34 truck and 27 coming down together. 34 truck locked him up. So now, see, 34 trucks now just coming across start-finish line. Dakota is halfway down the backstretch. We definitely know Dakota is going to come flying by that 34 truck. Does the 34 truck have enough time to get enough positions for stage? Going to put the lead back into the hands of, no, my apologies, 97 still going to lead it. Kevin Franks is still your leader. He is still out. 34 truck now rolling off pit road behind the 27. Ooh, looks like 27 nailed the brakes. Let the 34 go by. We'll see how much of a difference it makes here. Looks like Dylan Clark will be your first truck 1 lap down. 97 truck is still your race leader as he's now hitting pit road now. Looks like if it comes down to it, Kevin Franks run basically 35 laps right there. So we know these guys can go 35 laps. So if they go, question is, do you short pit at the end with like 35, 34 to go? To get that speed, because Dakota Camper, I mean, he was right there with, I mean, he was right there just a second in front of the 87 truck. Now at the end of this, it looks like he is out to a 6-second lead, so he was able to gain 5 seconds of time, it looks like. That is a huge jump. Looks like the 27 truck of Cogswell, looks like he may have been caught speeding on pit road. As they complete that, let's go back and take a quick look and see if that is the case. We'll rewind it real quick. It looks like it was. Quickly rewind it here and see. Get back in his cockpit here as he comes down pit road here. About right here. So we'll get in this cockpit. He was able to get down to pit road speed. Looks like he was able to maybe definitely sat there for a minute or two on pit road. He's now back out there 2 laps down. Dakota Camper Hell has a 6-second lead over the 87 truck of Justin Michael. The 34 truck of Clark is just now coming down the backstretch, roughly half a lap behind Camper. 16 seconds back, sitting P6. So at the moment, if we were to finish this stage, Camper would get 10 points. Dylan would get 5. That would put, see here, Dakota was 6 points up. So that'll put 5 points in Dakota's bucket. So that'll put him exactly 13 points ahead. At that point, that is a pretty deep hole that Clark is going to have to dig out of. As we get ready to complete lap 44. This will be the white flag for the stage. White flag for the only stage of the race. Dakota Camper clearly in hand. Sails it down off into 1 and 2. Comes to the backstretch. Down into 3 and 4 as he completes the 45. He will be, it looks like currently he will be your stage winner. Dylan Clark looks like he will finish 6th on the stage. That'll gain him 5 points, so that is a 13-point deficit currently. Well, and then they got to add another point for Camper leading the most laps, so that's going to be a 14-point deficit. While these guys run, I'm going to do one of my favorite segments, probably one of the last times I will be able to do it here until next season. Grab that volume knob and throttle it up. is your race leader currently, the 87 truck of Justin Michael. The 3 truck during our throttle up the volume segment. He decided to pit 8 laps ago, which is an interesting strategy considering we know that Kevin Franks only went 35 laps on fuel. So it looks like Camper is maybe going to split this up into an extra stop here. See how this plays out. He's sitting on a pretty good points cushion at the moment. Look at our top 8 pit stop strategy. Looks like Michael is running 27 compared to the 35 laps when he started the race. Camper, but you can tell he's pitted at least, he's pitted twice, so he pitted, run 28 laps, run 21, and then now he's on lap 9. Nobody else has come down pit road again. Looks like Justin Lumpkin has also done it as well with Camper. He ran 19 laps. He was actually 3 laps shorter. So as Doucette moves up into second place. Looks like that is a battle right now between 2 of these guys here. 56 and 16, these 2 have been trading positions lap after lap. They are definitely, they're teammates, but they are definitely racing each other hard for that second position currently. Five laps to go in this turn 5. Truck of Lumpkin is going to work under the 16. Lumpkin is currently 1 lap down. You will have to catch the 87 truck of Michael, who's now coming out of 2 to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. So the 87 of Michael looks like he is looking to put that feather in his cap, where he has won a majority of the races this season, over 60% of the races during the season. That is a pretty good feat in any league that you run. This 16 and 56, this is the most exciting battle on the track currently. These 2 guys are at each other lap after lap. Currently only 1 caution in the race, and that was early in the race on lap 2 or 3. Nobody else come down pit road since Dakota and Justin Lumpkin come down pit road. Looks like the 16 to Doucette in the 56 of Clavitt now on pit road for, it looks like, to be their final time this evening. Two guys will pretty much pit together. Looks like the 16 truck of Doucette was in there quicker than the 56. Looks like he'll be able to get off pit road quicker here. We'll watch it happen here. Yeah, it looks like Doucette was able to get out quicker, as he was able to hit his pit box pretty quick. Put Dylan Clark out to the lead. Looks like he is going to lead a lap, which he will regain one of those points. I think we said it was 13 or 14. Now it is down to 12 or 13. Still a pretty good point difference. I just don't see him making up the difference unless Dakota gets a incident and Clark stays perfectly clean. That will cut it down to 10 points, but even then, with only 8 trucks in the field, I don't see it happening, because it looks like Camper is getting ready to go back to the race lead here. And when he does, I think he will end up leading the most laps of the race. And once that happens, I will confirm it. But if he does end up leading the most laps, I think that will pretty much put the nail in the coffin, and he will be your inaugural SERL Truck Series champion. Waiting on 97 truck of Frank's to hit pit road. There he is. Now the 3 trucks. Now the middle coming just now, getting ready to come out of 4. Put him back to the race lead. Will he lead this lap? Yes. Barely, but he will lead that lap. So let's see how many. Go back and look at the fuel real quick. Camper, he is on for 19 laps, 28 more to go, 27 at the line. We know he can go to at least lap 35. So 35 laps on his fuel run, but it looks like he should be getting ready to hit pit road here momentarily. Let's see, another 15 laps. Tell you, the battle on the track is between this 16 and 56. These two guys are having the most fun out of this. These two are literally trading position lap after lap. Pretty much on the same strategy, pit strategy as well. You know they can make it to the end. We know Michael can make it to the end as well. We'll see how this plays out. Surprised to see Camper pit really as he did. I thought it was just a judgment, possibly. I wouldn't count it out, but it is possible. 56 truck trying everything he can to get as much momentum on this 16. Looks like he will just pull in behind him again this lap. Just an update on your championship contenders. Number 1 currently is the Dylan Clark sets P6. Dakota Camper right there. Your current race leader and championship leader. He is sitting P1 on the current results. There's Dylan Clark he is sitting P6 right now. Gonna have to pull a rabbit out of his hat. I just don't think he's got enough. I think we can pretty much here close to calling it now, confirming the points one more time just for myself to make sure I'm not telling you guys something that is not the truth. Do this segment one more time. Throttle up that volume one more time here for me. That will be the last time that we throttle up that volume here in the inaugural SERL Truck Series Season 1. We are down to our final championship race, the final 15 laps. Currently, your point, you got the two in the points of that 3 truck of Camper, who is sitting P6, and the 34 of Dylan Clark, who is sitting P4. 2 points of difference between these two guys, roughly about 15 seconds of difference, no, 17 seconds of difference on the racetrack. 34 is coming across the start-finish line now. Camper is now in the middle of 3 and 4. We know that the 87 of Michael has enough fuel to get to the end. Looks like he is going to spool this championship party and win this race. He has enough fuel. Doucette has enough fuel. Clavitt has enough fuel. Clark, we know he has enough fuel. He pitted 2 laps after the top 3, so he has enough. Franks has enough fuel. He pitted 2 laps after those guys. So, see how this plays out here. Let's see who will win this final race of the season. '56 and 16 have spread out just a little bit. These two were the closest two on the track, battling for that top or second and third position. 16 was able to hold it off from Clavitt. There you will be able to see the difference here. As we say, the 3 of Camper is right there on the tail end of the lead lap, coming across down the backstretch. 34 of Clark is there. Roughly about 12 seconds of difference. Going to be 10 laps to go this time by. 10 laps to go in this opening inaugural 2021 Truck Series Season 1 Championship. 10 to go at Homestead. Nine laps to go. Not a lot of drama or new story headlines unfolding here. Camper was your championship leader coming in with 5 points over Clark. Gained 5 points in the stage. That puts him at 10 points. I'm not quite sure if Camper was able to lead most laps. If he was able to, that will put him 11 points up. If that is the case, even if Clark was able to win the race and pull out a rabbit out of his hat here late, and Camper was to finish dead last, that would still not be enough for Clark to win the championship. So currently, Camper is your championship leader. As we come down to 7 laps to go this time by. 7 laps to go. This time by will be 5 laps to go. 5 to go. D7 truck pulling around here, putting 5 laps left on the board. Four laps to go. This time by 4 laps to go here in this opening season. 34 truck sitting in 4th. Dakota Camper sitting in 6th, quickly gaining on that 34 truck. '97 of Franks setting P5. Let's run down through your top 8. Justin Michael running out P1. 16 of Joey Doucette P2. Dean Clavitt in the 56. P3, P4 will be Dylan Clark. 5 will be Kevin Franks, and 6th will be Dakota Camper. 7th will be Justin Lumpkin, 1 lap down, and 8th will be the 27 truck of Jonathan Cogswell. 87 truck here, 2 laps to go in this inaugural season. And as he passes that stripe line right there, it is official. There is your 2021 SERL Truck Series champion, Dakota Camper. All he has to complete as he finishes these last few laps. So there is your Truck Series champion. He has ran well all season. Is able to finally pull it out. Move this here up here towards the top. There we go. That looks better. There is your 2021 inaugural Truck Series champion in the SERL, Dakota Camper. As we come down to 1 to go. 1 to go this time. Justin Michael looks to put that final feather, as we talked about at the beginning of this broadcast, in his cap. Going to win over 60% of these races, and he will do it. And there is your race winner, Justin Michael, in that 87 truck. P2 is Joey Doucette with a great run here at Homestead. Dean Clavitt will come across P3. P4 will be Dylan Clark, who will just come up short from that Truck Series championship. 5th will be Kevin Franks. And there is your Truck Series champion again, one more time, Dakota Camper. Go ahead and bring him up here right now before we get too much further up here. Hey Dakota, this is Justin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and burn it down, sir. You are the inaugural SERL Truck Series champion. Congratulations, sir, on a fantastic season. You were able to get it done and complete your championship win there.
Thank you, man. It was unconventional, but saw that Dylan wasn't having a good night, and just went for as many points as we could get in the stage, and he finished way back there. I think I pretty much had it locked up at that point. So, man, great season. Great job to all the other competitors out here, and Justin Michael on getting another win this season. Great job to Dylan Clark on a fantastic year. Just come up just a little bit short, but man, very competitive there at the end. And thanks to you for doing such a great broadcast each week. And of course, thanks to Unchained Motorcycle Ministry, my good friends Jeremy and Chastity who run that. They do a great job. And just thanks to SERL and everybody else. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, good job. And you've already pretty much done the shout-outs and whatnot. So we will let you go soak in this championship win. Congratulations. And we will see you for season 2.
Yes, sir.
All right. There it is. There is your SERL Truck Series champion, Dakota Camper. With that said, let's go ahead and bring up our third place finisher, Dean Clavitz. Hey, Dean, this is Justin up in the booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Sir, you were able to come out with a P3 here at Homestead. Looks like you were battling with Joey Doucette, or P2 finisher, there for a majority of the race. You two are teammates. I mean, you were absolutely getting after it with each other. Trading position lap after lap. It was quite a sight to see. You guys were definitely the excitement for this evening between you two. Was that, I guess you pretty much stayed on the same strategy as he did as well. Was that kind of what your plan was?
Yeah, that was pretty much the plan. So, and decided to do some racing there towards the end. We were just trying to catch Justin and all that, and hoped he'd ran out of fuel, but he clearly didn't. He's too good to run out of fuel. But no, overall it was a fun race. So I mean, I wrecked it on lap 3, so that was embarrassing. But other than that, though, it was a good, clean race. That's all I didn't want to do. Just have it go green and clean and whatnot. But yeah, it was fun, and can't wait to go cup racing with these guys next year.
Yes, sir. Yep, we'll definitely be excited to see you there in the Cup Series. I think you've already in the Cup Series, if I remember correctly. Just need a fresh start, I guess.
Yeah, I just ran part time after they decided to let some truck guys in, so I've been running part time and I haven't run their playoffs since to stay out of the way. So, but can't wait to go next year with these guys.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, good job. You got anybody you want to give a shout out to other than your teammate? Because I know you will, because you two were, like I said, battling each other there pretty hard. And by the way, I want to say that 9/11 Memorial Paint Scheme, that was a nice touch. I greatly appreciate that, especially here on this day. We definitely do not want to forget what happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I decided to run it. I was supposed to run my other paint scheme that I usually run, that has my sponsors, DreamBugs.com, Butt Kicker, Ryko Motorsports, Pulse Popper, New Sweat, and Simex Pro. But, with the day and all that, with how's, how do I word this?
I'm sure they'll give you an exception for this evening.
Yeah, pretty much. And and honestly, I didn't really care on what day I thought. It's just the day itself. Just to think it's since it's been 20 years since since that tragedy happened. It's crazy to just think about how different it is compared to back then. With this whole the news revamped the security and whatnot, at these airports and all that. And definitely my thoughts and prayers go out to all the families and all the victims involved. And it was a nice touch to end the season, especially on and hopefully we can hopefully never forget, and obviously keep on remembering the victims.
Yes, do not live in fear. Never live in fear. Don't let terrorism scare you or put fear into you. Just do what you do and never forget, so that way we don't repeat history. But with that said, good job on the second place finish. good job on the season, and we will see you next year.
10-4. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. There's your third place finisher, Dean Clavitt. Let's pull up our second place finisher, Joey Doucette. Joey, this is Justin up in the booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
All right, well, let me get your truck pulled up here so we can have a good look at it here. Looks like you were able to finish out with a second place finish. You were battling with Dean Clavitt all race long. You two were definitely the most excitement of the field all evening. Everybody was spread out. You two were basically nose to tail, battling each other lap after lap.
Yep.
You were eliminated mathematically from winning the championship, but you definitely came out here and put a show on. We greatly appreciate it, and wanted to see if you had anything you wanted to say, anybody you wanted to give a shout out to.
I just want to thank for all the men and women that have sacrificed their lives. I ran a special paint scheme for the 13 soldiers that lost their lives last week, and being 9/11 today, and for all the men and women that lost their lives 20 years ago, and many more after that when we went to Afghanistan and Iraq. So I'm blessed to be a veteran myself. I'm just proud of them guys to live up to that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we definitely do not want to forget what happened 20 years ago. That is something we definitely do not want to do. Like some people make it, makes it seem like it's easy to forget something like that. But with, it's burned into my memory, something that I will not ever forget. So we appreciate you running that paint scheme. And
I also like to just one more thing. My best friend of 25 years is moving to South Carolina Monday morning, and I just wish him the best travels. I get to see him tomorrow, but I want to give him a shout out. He's supported me doing this. He watches all my streams and all the. He's probably watching right now, so because I send him the streams all the time. So I just want to wish him the best of luck down there. I mean, we're still going to contact each other, but I just wanted to give him a shout out too.
10-4. Well, I'm sure he'll appreciate that, and I know that's a big step for you and a big step for him. That's not something lightly to deal with. So, and
I want to thank SERL you for broadcasting. I don't know if you're coming back next season. I know I'm stepping away and doing race control next season. And congratulations to Dakota for the championship and Justin on the win.
Yes, sir. Yep, those two. I started looking at it. It looks like Justin Michael won over 60% of the races here. So,
yeah.
The guy definitely stepped it up his game and got after it. So, he's definitely going to be a challenge if he comes back next year. So,
definitely.
Yeah. With that said, good job on the second place finish. Let's pull up Justin Michael here, and we will see you next season. And race.
Have a good one, bud.
Booth. All right, that was our second place finisher, Joey Doucette. Let's bring up Justin Michael, our race winner. Hey, Justin, this is Justin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, as we talked about, you were looking to put that feather in your cap, winning, I think, I did the math, over 60% of the races this season. You were able to do it and get it done.
Yeah, it was definitely a good race.
Yeah.
Definitely a good race.
Yeah, definitely a good race.
And congrats to Dakota for winning the points there. So definitely well deserved. And yeah, it was a good clean race. We liked it a lot. Gas mileage though played out. I pretty much ran out after start finish line. Couldn't do a burnout. So we were pushing it. It was really really close. It was a point there where I didn't think we were actually going to make it.
Well, yeah, we watched Frank's go 35 laps, so we were definitely figure that you guys could easily make it. There at the end, and you were able to do it and get it done. So like I said, 60% of the races, pretty big feat there. Good job on the season. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
It's everybody out there watching. Hopefully it was a good race, and you guys for calling a good race as always. Dakota for putting on a good leg, and we'll be back for the next one here. I think in a month and a half. I forget
Yes.
when it starts.
Yes, sir. Looks like we go back green here roughly in about a month. So until
There we
then,
go.
yep, we will hopefully see you back next season.
Thank you, sir. We'll be here.
Yep, yes, sir. All right, that is our race winner, Justin Michael. So with that said, we'll go back quickly one more time. There's your inaugural SERL Truck Series champion, Dakota Camper, in the number 3 truck, Unchained Motorcycle Ministry truck. Good job on that. Good job on the win. And we look forward to seeing you guys here back here next season. As Justin Michael had mentioned, looks like it's going to be in roughly a couple of weeks. Just keep tuned in for it. And with that said, I have one more thing to mention. Going back to that day 20 years ago, we definitely never want to forget it. And with that said, we will end it here this evening. This is Justin White, and I'm signing off. And don't forget to stay on that lead lap.